Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has just stated Emerson Royal is now on the verge of becoming a AC Milan player. There is interest in Cabore, and Bournemouth want to keep Dominic Solanke. On Tuesday, the Spurs under-21s drew 2-2 away at Cray Wanderers. Niall John has departed for Portugal. 3 fixture changes for October. On Tuesday, 4 first-team players returned to Hotspur Way for pre-season training. Spurs have just agreed a record-breaking deal as Postecoglou gets big boost, and the Football Insider have stated that Spurs are expecting bids from the Saudi Pro League for Richarlison.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs women. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, but I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with all of the official news released by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. On Tuesday evening, the club put out the following statement. The Premier League broadcast selection process for October has now been completed, with 3 of our fixtures amended. Our trip to Brighton is now scheduled for Sunday the 6th of October. The game will kick off at 4:30 p.m. and has been selected for live TV coverage by Sky Sports. Meanwhile, the Premier League has confirmed a new kick-off time for our home fixture against West Ham United on Saturday the 19th of October, live on TNT Sports. The game will now kick off at 12:30 p.m. UK time. Lastly, our final league outing of the month at Crystal Palace has now been moved to Sunday the 27th of October with a 2 p.m. kick-off due to our participation in the UEFA Europa League the preceding Thursday on the 24th of October. Broadcast selections and associated fixture changes for November onwards will be announced in due course. On Tuesday, it was announced by the Tottenham Hotspur women that they have partnered with Drip to become its official front of training wear partner. Drip is a disruptor in the water market, providing natural mineral water of the highest quality and untouched from source. Drip is naturally filtered through over 420 foot of chalk and enriched with minerals from deep within England's South Downs at the first field at source 500ml water canning facility in the UK. Another official statement released by Tottenham Hotspur on Tuesday evening. We have reached an agreement with Liga Portugal 2-side CD Forense for the transfer of midfielder Niall John. A product of our academy system, Niall joined us as a 7-year-old and progressed through the age groups to become a regular for our under-21 side in recent seasons. Part of our Premier League 2 title-winning squad last term, he made 2 senior competitive appearances for us against Wolfsburg in the Europa League and Pacos de Ferreira in the Europa Conference League, both in 2021. We thank Niall John for his service to the club and wish him all the best in the next stage of his career. After leaving the club, Niall John wrote the following on Instagram: "As I reflect on the past 14 years I've spent at the club, I am overwhelmed with gratitude for my experiences and relationships I have formed during my time here. It has truly been an honour to be part of such a wonderful community. All I ever wanted to do was represent your colours with pride and passion, and I am incredibly grateful for those around me to help achieve my dreams of playing for this beautiful club." From the very beginning, I was welcomed with open arms and given opportunity to grow, both personally and professionally. The support received by staff has been invaluable, helping me to overcome challenges and celebrate successes. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has been part of this journey. Your friendship, mentorship and honesty has meant the world to me. The memories we have created together will always hold a special part in my heart. Although it is time for me to move on to new adventures, I will always cherish the time I spent at the club. Now for a couple of updates from Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano on the transfer window. Talking about Emerson Royal, Fabrizio Romano has stated AC Milan and Tottenham will have final round of talks to close Emerson Royal deal on Wednesday. €15 million plus add-ons package. Emerson's on the verge of becoming a new AC Milan player. Fabrizio Romano has also stated because Emerson Royal is leaving, now Tottenham will look to fill that gap for sure because they have Pedro Porro, but they will need one more player. It is true that Kabore at Manchester City, former Luton Town player, is appreciated by Tottenham, but I am told he is not the only option. There are several possibilities being considered. Fabrizio Romano has also given an update on the Dominic Solanke situation. He has stated that Tottenham started exploring deal for Dominic Solanke last week. He is on the shortlist and Spurs are well informed on the release clause of around £65 million. Initial talks took place. Bournemouth are still hoping to keep their striker. On Tuesday evening, the Tottenham Hotspur under-21s were back in pre-season action, their last pre-season friendly before the Premier League 2 season starts next week. They played at Flamingo Park against Cray Wanderers. The score ended 2-2. Cray Wanderers went 2-0 up, and then Spurs came back into the game. Ajayi and Williams got the goals. Now, two players that were in Japan and South Korea with the first team squad, Hall and Abbott, they were both in the starting 11 on Tuesday for the under-21s. The Football Insider have just reported Richarlison, huge Tottenham offer incoming after massive twist. Tottenham are expecting to receive a huge offer from Saudi Arabia for Richarlison in the coming days. Saudi Pro League clubs are set to decide their budgets, which will trigger movement across the market, and official offers are expected to be made to clubs later this month. The Football Insider have also stated Richarlison has already been offered a massive pay hike to make the switch to the Middle East and is now weighing up his options. While the transfer window in England closes on the 30th of August, it will remain open in Saudi until the 6th of October, giving them plenty of time to get deals over the line. Richarlison joined Tottenham from Everton in a deal worth $50 million in 2022, but has struggled to make the desired impact in North London. In his 2 years at the club, the striker has made 66 appearances, scoring 15 times and providing 8 assists, leading to suggestions his future may lie away from Spurs. Last season under Ange Postecoglou, the Brazilian featured 31 times across all competitions, scoring 12 times, but missed lengthy spells with consistent injury issues. As a result of the concerns surrounding his fitness and inconsistent record in front of goal in recent years, Tottenham are now prepared to listen to offers for his services. Interest from Saudi Pro League sides comes as they look to continue to progress and increase the exposure of their league through high-profile signings. Richarlison has become the latest target of these, and he could now join the likes of Ronaldo, Benzema, Kante with a massive deal on the table. The Football Insider have also stated with talks expected to accelerate once Saudi clubs decide their final budgets, Tottenham could be left with less than a month to find a replacement. A report has just been published by the Daily Express, and they are stating that Tottenham agree record-breaking deal as Ange Postecoglou gets big boost. Tottenham are expected to bolster their ranks in the latter stages of the transfer window. Teenage star Mikey Moore, 16, has reportedly agreed to sign a professional contract with Tottenham later this week. The forward has been one of Tottenham's breakout stars in pre-season and may have given Ange Postecoglou something to think about heading into the 2024-2025 campaign as the Aussie looks to assess his options in the final third. Mikey Moore became the youngest player to make a Premier League appearance for Tottenham in May when coming on as a sub in Tottenham's 2-0 defeat at the hands of Manchester City. He has since been involved with the first team and has made a couple of appearances during the side's pre-season tour of Asia. The Athletic have also reported on this story, and they have stated that Mikey Moore has now agreed to pen his first professional deal with Tottenham on Sunday when he turns 17. He will sign a 3-year deal with the North London outfit, which is the longest deal that a player under the age of 18 is allowed to sign due to FIFA regulations. Though it is not only the contract length which indicates the sheer level of trust that Tottenham have in the ability of the England under-17 international, Mikey Moore has reportedly been offered a bigger salary than Spurs have ever proposed to a player before they have turned 17 in the hope of fending off interest from other clubs, highlighting that the higher powers at the club have recognised his level of talent. During pre-season, Ange Postecoglou has heaped praise on Mikey Moore. He said Mikey has been fantastic since we brought him in. He's earned his spot on the roster at the moment and did at the end of last year. He got a run with the first team because we could see in training that he was handling himself really well, and that's followed through into pre-season training. All we can do is keep allowing him to develop. We have to remember that last year he had some injuries and he is only 16, but yes, super exciting. On Tuesday, a number of players returned to Hotspur Way. Rodrigo Bentancur, Giovanni Lo Celso, Christian Romero and Mickey van der Ven. They were all back in training ahead of Tottenham's next pre-season friendly, which of course takes place this coming Saturday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Bayern Munich. The Daily Express have just reported that Tottenham have 3 players that Bournemouth might accept in Dominic Solanke's swap deal. Tottenham are said to be chasing Bournemouth star Dominic Solanke and could tempt the Cherries with a part exchange deal. Tottenham are said to be exploring a move for Dominic Solanke this summer after the star bagged 19 Premier League goals last season. Solanke is said to have a £65 million release clause in his contract and appeared to tease a move with a cryptic quote on social media. But Spurs could try and get the transfer fee down by offering Bournemouth a part exchange deal. And Express Sport takes a look at 3 players that Tottenham could use as collateral to tempt the Cherries. First up, Giovanni Lo Celso, Argentina international. Lo Celso has featured in 77 Premier League games since joining Tottenham from Real Betis back in 2019, but has failed to establish himself as a first-team regular under any manager in North London. Second on the list is Manor Solomon. Manor Solomon is another player who Tottenham may be willing to sacrifice, with the winger missing 8 months of the last campaign after being forced to undergo surgery for a problem in his right knee in October. And the Daily Express have stated the other player could be Valise. If Bournemouth aren't tempted by Lo Celso or Solomon, Tottenham could offer the Cherries a loan deal for up-and-coming talent Valise. The Wrexham Insider have just reported that Wrexham completed their 6th edition of the summer transfer window on Friday, but boss Phil Parkinson remains keen on landing a young striker. It has been reported that Phil Parkinson is interested in Tottenham Hotspur youngster Will Lancashire. The Evening Standard have also reported all about Dominic Solanke and Richarlison. They are stating that Ange Postecoglou wants to add more firepower to his squad, and Solanke is seen as a good fit for his style. Should Spurs meet his release clause, which would be a club record fee, they then go on to say that Richarlison has been linked with a move away from Spurs this summer, with clubs in Saudi Arabia thought to be tracking him. It remains to be seen if a move for former Chelsea and Liverpool frontman Solanke would be dependent on Richarlison leaving. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and let me just start by saying that there is just over 23 days left of the transfer window left at the time of making this video. A lot has happened today. Now, this Emerson Royal saga keeps going on, but it now looks like it is finally going to come to an end, and Emerson Royal will join AC Milan. So wishing him all of the very best. Spurs have just over 3 weeks now to get a number of players through the door. Now, a number of very respected journalists are saying that Spurs are going to be busy and we will get 2-3 players in this transfer window in the next couple of weeks. Now, of course, we need more than that, if I'm completely honest, because the players that have gone out the door, Emerson Royal, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Brian Hill's now gone out the door. Quite a few players have gone out, and we need players to replace these players that have gone out. Plus, we need to strengthen as well. So, in my opinion, we need a lot more than 2 or 3. A lot more. But Ange Postecoglou, as he said, it won't get done in this window, and it will have to carry on to the next windows. But it is so important, for our football club and our development and our growth. A word that Ange Postecoglou uses a lot, all about growth. He believes that, the squad, there has been a lot of growth in the squad, but of course we need the growth in the squad as well by new players coming in and adding real quality as well, and adding that depth. I know I keep repeating myself on all of these episodes, but you've got to add that depth. A couple of injuries to this squad at the moment. Even when a couple of signings do come in, a couple of injuries, we are going to be very, very thin, as we saw last season. I just don't want that to happen again, particularly when we're playing in Europe, in the Europa League. You need a big squad. I know it's probably expected that a lot of the youngsters are going to get game time and opportunities, but I do feel like we do need a couple, at least a couple more experienced players to come through the door. The fixture changes coming in for October. I love this. I love now that the Premier League are being so great about this, where they used to leave a lot of these fixture changes to the last minute, and now they're being done very, very quickly. We're only at the start of August, and we already know what's happening in October. So that is absolutely fantastic. So all of the fans travelling from all over the country, all over the world, now they can plan their trips, plan their hotels, etc. And everyone is a lot happier with that. Niall John departing for Portugal, wishing him all of the very best. I think with someone like Niall John, a decent player, but I would have expected him to get into the first team by now. And when a player like that doesn't get on the plane to Japan and South Korea, he probably thought his days were numbered. And I wouldn't be at all surprised by seeing one or two more of the development players. I wouldn't be at all surprised seeing them go out the door before the season starts, or certainly in the next 20 odd days of the transfer window. Interesting updates from Fabrizio Romano. Of course, he's mentioned Emerson Royale going out the door. Interest in Kabore. Interest that he said that we do need another right back, and we are going to go out and replace Emerson Royale because you're going out the door. I think that we have so many more areas on the pitch to focus on rather than a right back, and of course we know that Jed Spence has really come on leaps and bounds and showed the right attitude and really performed in this pre-season, which I think a lot of us have been surprised about, but it's great to see. And you even said the other day that Jed Spence has a future at the club. So that's an interesting one. If we do bring in a right back, I think it will be a real kick in the teeth to someone like Jed Spence. And of course, we know that Archie Gray can play there as well. So I do believe that we have enough depth in that position. A striker is an absolute must, as I keep saying. This Dominic Solanke deal, a lot of people are saying, well, if Spurs are so interested in Dominic Solanke, why have we waited, 3 weeks to try and get this deal done? Were we actually targeting other players and they're now unavailable or didn't want to come to the club or, for whatever reason? It's an interesting one. But will Spurs go out and pay £65 million? Will they try and do a part exchange and, perhaps offer some players like the Express said, Valise, Lo Celso, Solomon, for example? It's going to be an interesting situation. I've had a couple of Bournemouth channels send me over videos today and I've put them out on the channel. Very in-depth analysis about Dominic Solanke. They rate him extremely highly. Having scored 19 Premier League goals in 38 games last season. And they will really miss him. But a lot of fans are completely underwhelmed by this signing. Some people have said about Richarlison, if you would compare both of them, Richarlison did have a good spell last season. But Richarlison's couple of years that he's spent at the football club have been difficult. He's been very wasteful in front of goal. And, Dominic Solanke was very prolific last season. I know a lot of people are doubting, saying, well, he's a one-season wonder. I'm not sure on this situation. I think that every Spurs fan would have expected something different. It's going to be an interesting 3 weeks, but certainly we need a striker in. The Football Insider have stated, as well as the Evening Standard, have stated that Spurs are expecting bids in from Saudi clubs for Richarlison. I just hope, as much as I've said on so many occasions on this channel that if we had a decent offer in for Richarlison, I would sell him. But you can't just keep selling players and offloading players. As much as I think it has been a good thing and we've had a real clear out, you now need to look at the squad and think how thin it is. Richarlison is an option, although he's had a lot of injury problems and he hasn't featured for Tottenham as much as we'd like to have seen him in a Spurs shirt. He is an option when he is fit. If we brought Dominic Solanke in, and imagine after a month he gets an injury, we're back to then putting Heung-min Son through the middle. We cannot have that. We cannot have that situation yet again. We need multiple options in that final third. I know Ange Postecoglou has said on a couple of occasions that, yeah, but it's okay, Brennan Johnson can play up front if needed as a number 9, or even Dejan Kulusevski can play through the middle that we have seen during pre-season. I just feel like we're just making do, and a club like us, we should not be making do. We should be having the players in those positions. We should be having a couple of number 9s in this squad to call upon. And, you know, if Dominic Solanke did come in and Richarlison went out the door, and there's talk of Valise going off on loan or even going out the door permanently, then what options do we have? I just want a couple of number 9s in, and I think that a club like Spurs, as I've said, should have always a couple of options through the middle and in that final third, because, you know, Ange Postecoglou has said so many times we need improvements in that final third. Record-breaking deal as Postecoglou gets big boost. That's all about Mikey Moore, and what a great deal this is. Mikey Moore is a huge talent for the future. Of course, he turns 17 on Sunday, so Spurs have got this deal done. Many clubs were looking at him. Manchester United, Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, various other clubs in Europe, top clubs, and they all wanted him. He has decided to stay at Spurs, and I hope that he is going to get the game time. I think he's going to be a huge hit for the future. I hope that you know, Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham manage this situation really well, and they give him game time in certain games next season, and he does extremely well. I'm expecting big things from him, and I'm sure the club are expecting big things from him. So yeah, what a great bit of business from Spurs to get that deal done, because let's face it, that youngster, Mikey Moore, could have gone anywhere. He could have had the pick of his clubs all around Europe. So fantastic. 4 players return to Hotspur Way on Tuesday morning. I tell you what, that put a big smile on my face, seeing the likes of Mickey van der Ven, Romero coming through the door, Bentancur, of course, as well, and Lo Celso. But, you know, it's great to have our centre-backs back, Mickey van der Ven and Romero, the 2 main men at the back. Of course, Dragushin joined the squad in Japan, so of course he's back as well. But great to have them back to be facing the likes of Harry Kane and Bayern Munich on Saturday, of course, before the Premier League season starts against Leicester City. But as I keep saying, a big 3 weeks coming up for Tottenham. Let's hope that Ange Postecoglou gets everything on his shopping list and everything that we need as a club to move forward and progress. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this in an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe and well. Come on, you Spurs.